Dinky is a podcast where two pals just won't shut the F up about being child-free and the dink lifestyle. I'm Erica, and I don't have kids because I got stuck on an Amtrak train for 2.5 hours. And let me tell you, I was having a grand old time reading my book, taking a nap. It was basically like I lived on the train. You know who was not having a grand old time? Everyone with a child. They looked miserable.
So you're proving your theory that being in prison would be like the best thing that's ever happened to you and the most relaxed you've ever felt?
If I had kids, yeah. And also probably period, because
I was going to say period,
my
right?
life wherever I am. Yeah.
And I'm Kristen, and I don't have kids because what if you like have a kid who is lucky enough to find their best friend and then everyone else around them thinks that they hate each other?
Yeah, good point.
I mean, I don't want a kid. Why would I want my kid to feel like they can't even have a best friend and then feel like they have to like justify their friendship to other people, to strangers, no less?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What kind of existence is that?
For listeners who don't know what we're talking about, Kristen and I, prior to this, were talking about how so many people think that we hate each other. And I just need to say, before we get into the show today, Kristen and I have known each other now for 20 years. If we hated each other, we have had every opportunity. And trust me, I've tried. We have both tried so many times to get rid of each other. We just can't. So at this point, if we do hate each other, there's no going back. There's paperwork involved.
I mean, that's true. I was going to say, we have no incentive to do this. Why would we do this? We just said in the last episode that we make less than minimum wage per one human. Like, there's no incentive to keep doing this if it wasn't fun for us. Literally. So, like, the fact that people think we hate each other.
Money to hate each other on a podcast.
Yeah. Also, I do want to say, me and Erica did break up once. We had a several year. We've said this before. We've had a several year breakup where Erica got really religious, and I was like, "Why?"
Yeah, but we didn't even break up. It just was kind of like we drifted apart.
We had like different paths, and it was like no animosity or anything negative. It was just like, oh, we're different tracks of life now. And then God bless us. God blessed us and put us back together again, and then made us do a child-free podcast for very limited money.
Yes. Can you imagine, though, if you had a child who had a best friend and you hated your child's best friend? I wonder if that must happen all the time.
Wait, the best friend or the best friend's parents?
Either, but I was thinking of the child.
It'd be weird if you hated the best friend. Why would you hate the best friend? Like a bad influence kind of best friend? Because generally people that are like
a bad influence. They could be annoying. They could be, I don't know, all kinds of things.
Yeah. I generally think people who find best friends generally are like enough that I could see.
You've never met, let's say there's a friend of a friend. You've never met a friend of a friend who you hated?
I'm sure I have. Hate is a strong word. Dislike, definitely not interested in.
My God. I didn't realize when I came into this that we were going to dissect every fucking word. You froze.
I'm here again.
She hates me. She doesn't want to do this podcast with me anymore.
No, you know what it was? It was God. God smited us for fighting. And he said, you know what? You two shall not fight. I will break the internet.
Wow. You sure have gotten religious since you moved to Ireland. You can't stop talking about God.
I'm a Catholic now.
She is. Congratulations. Wouldn't that be funny if I had to break up with you because you got really religious?
That would be really funny.
We're past due.
Well, all right. On that note, today we're going to be talking to our other friend who I have no idea how she feels about religion, but her name is Maggie Dickens. She is a licensed therapist and the host of the Unapologetically Childfree. Maggie's built this incredible space for child-free women who are... why would I say it like that?
Oh my God. You need to go to rehab,
Maggie
bitch.
has built this incredible space for child-free women who are just done holding it together for everyone else, and they're ready to feel as important and supported as everyone else. She's got this mix of therapy smarts, real talk, and a calming energy, and a great voice that makes you want to exhale and finally stop carrying everyone's emotional baggage. Ain't that the truth? She's about to walk us through how to stop being the entire village and to do it guilt-free. And she's going to hypnotize you. Okay? Why? Stay till the end. Okay? And just in time for the holidays, she's also going to share some strategies to regulate your nervous system, which God knows we need it. We need it.
Yeah, Kristen desperately needs it.
I really need it.
She's a DJ now. DJ Kristen in the house.
We can't wait to learn more and get hypnotized. But first, we need to dunk ourselves.
Dink yourself! Pew, pew, pew! Dink yourself! A dink is a dual-income, no-kid household. So naturally, we are making bad choices with our disposable income. In this segment, it's
not
have
weekly.
We ever spoken in our lives? Why? Here's the thing. Kristen and I can't talk. And so we're friends because no one else is able to get close to us. Even though we truly despise one another, which you have uncovered. No one else can speak to us because we are so fucking annoying. In this segment, we chat through the frivolous, the ridiculous, the redonkulous, the redonkadonk, the rabonkabonk, purchases or hobbies that we could not afford should we have had children.
And that's why
Kristen,
we are dinks.
I don't know what is happening anymore, but Kristen, how have you been dinking yourself?
My husband reminded me how you and I, season 1, when we first started this podcast, I
was just thinking about this.
How you breathed so heavily that I had to cut every single breath that you took between words. You were like, and dig yourself.
Do you think I've gotten better, or do we just not hear it because Vince is editing them out?
No, I think you've gotten 100% better. I don't know what it was about this first early days that, like, literally, it was so distracting. We couldn't listen to the episode because we could just hear you breathing. Oh my God. So I was reminded about
Kristen,
that, and I really liked it.
How have you been dinking yourself?
Okay, first I want to do a quick follow-up on a recent Dink Yourself where I said I had paid somebody to find me an apartment.
Okay.
And in Ireland. And first of all, I didn't acknowledge how fucking privileged that is, which I hated listening back to that and not like acknowledging that. So I just wanted to acknowledge that that is very privileged to have that ability to help someone find you an apartment. But she took so long to send me a contract that I didn't need it. And I found the place myself. And so I actually saved 2,800 euros. So therefore, I could do whatever I want with that 2,800 euros, right? I didn't spend 2,800 euros, but I did spend 200 euros on a like Christmas like landscapes. I don't know what the fuck you call them. What do you call those things? Like Christmas scenes.
Like a village?
That you put up in your house. Yeah, but they're like,
Christmas
it's like
village?
scenes. It's like a scene. It's not a village. So when I went to Germany, I was in Heidelberg, Germany, which I fucking love Heidelberg, Germany. It's where my grandparents met. I'm going to do a little TikTok video about this because I love Heidelberg. But to commemorate our time in Heidelberg, we went to this like Christmas shop and I wanted to get something specific to Heidelberg. So there was one scene that is like the Heidelberg Bridge, the castle, yada, yada. If you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, you won't know what I'm fucking talking about. But if you do, you do. And I got like a cute little Christmas scene. It's all handmade. Like it's ornate wood carvings that were handmade. And it's like a lit up scene that you can plug in and it has like lights and shit. So it's really cute. It was really expensive for the Christmas markets trip in Germany. we will be going to a town that makes all of those wooden creations by hand. So I'm sure I'm going to buy more. How'd you dink yourself?
I dinked myself. I have a good dink myself this week. So I dinked myself because our dear friend Ashton, who I went to go see, who came to Switzerland, who went on Egypt, we went to go see Beyonce together twice. She had asked me months ago if I wanted to go see Doechii, and I did want to see Doechii, but I did not want to spend lay dollars because I am unemployed other than this podcast.
Fun-employed.
I'm fun-employed by this podcast. And so I said, no, I should be responsible. But she went ahead and bought tickets anyway for her and her husband. But then her husband ended up being too tired and burnt out for the show. So she texted me like 2 days before and was like, do you want to go? If you don't, I'm just going to list them. But if you do, we can go. And I was tired, but I slept on it and I thought about it. And I said, girl, there's a reason you didn't have children. And that reason is impromptu trips to Seattle to see Doechii. So I took a train. It was very fun. I spent the night at their house. We saw Doechii. It was a real blast. And I got to see Doechii for free other than my train ticket. And they were such nice hosts to me. And it was all just so last minute and it was so much fun. And I just love being child-free. It was like a weekend of feeling like I love my life.
I love that. I mean, from top to bottom, it's like shows the flexibility.
Top to bottom.
And like also the fact that your friends are child-free and like,
yes,
coincidentally, who you made
God
through
bless.
the trip.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
I love that.
Yeah, it was a blast. And you guys, if you haven't listened to Doechii before, you got to go listen to her soon because she is about to fucking blow the fuck up, I think. And she's amazing. She's an unbelievable performer. I was jaw on the ground.
I love that. Well, before we get into the conversation with Maggie, I do want to bring you back to what is it? Oh, that's right. It's the Child-Free Small Business Corner. What a beautiful place where we promote your child-free small businesses. Our business today is Taylor of Oxley Consulting Services. If time management, admin tasks, or staying accountable feel like a constant struggle, you're not alone. You are not alone, let me tell you. Child-free business owner Taylor of Oxley Consulting Services partners with creatives, small business owners, and entrepreneurs who face these challenges every day. Are you ready to transform your creative ideas into reality? Taylor builds personalized solutions to help you make real progress with the administrative pieces vital to your business. Go to taylorjoxley.com/dinkypod for more info. And we'll put that link in the show notes. And you get your ass together, everyone. Do that thing you've been wanting to do.
We love Taylor.
We do love Taylor.
Yeah, don't
great.
Let your shenanigans get in the way of your success.
Also child-free and small business owner and dog owner. Okay? So if you want to hang out with a cute puppy, call Taylor.
We're just creating new business avenues for people. If you want to hang out with a puppy, call this bitch. People are going to be like, where do I find the puppy?
All right, let's head over and talk to Maggie. Yay, Maggie!
Oh, Maggie, thank you so much for being with us today. It's great to have you back.
Thanks for having me back. This is highlight of my week, month maybe. We'll see how it goes.
I have a question for you that we didn't get to ask in like the little preamble before we start to record, which you don't have to answer if you're not comfortable with because it's now being recorded. But I do want to know how your wedding planning is going because last I heard you were getting a dress, you were doing all this stuff. What's the latest?
Wedding planning's for the birds, man. Like it is so much. I went to Italy, looked at wedding dresses, highly recommend a girls' trip to do that, especially in another country because then you can't buy anything because you can't bring it home. Or fly to Italy for fittings. So it was just a really fun time. And yeah, we have a wedding planner who's kind of handling a lot of things because Portuguese. So they have to do the language and understanding the typical way that things are handled here, not like they do in the States. So I actually have one of my favorite friends, Chatty B, as I call ChatGPT. We're working on the menu right now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you are doing it in Portugal then? Are you doing a small wedding? Are people flying out? What's the deal?
Yeah. So I think it's somewhere between like micro and mini. So it's going to be 30 people total, including myself and my partner. And it's going to be in Porto, so a little bit further north of where I'm at now. And most of the people are coming from either the US, Middle East, other parts of the world. We've got about, 8 people coming from Portugal from within, and then everybody else is flying in. So it's going to be a lot of logistics in that respect, and then trying to balance what the Portugal typical wedding is versus what we want, because they're all shocked when I tell them my plans.
Because it's small?
Why?
Because it's small. So the weddings here, a small wedding here is 200 people. And I'm like, excuse me? What?
That's really funny.
And it's just, you literally invite every single person you've ever met, your parents have ever met, your kindergarten teacher, all of it. And it's a huge celebration. They are also minimum of 12 hours long.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're not exaggerating?
No.
Oh.
So my venue.
Because they go all night?
Because they go all night. And often you are also starting with a proper Catholic cathedral ceremony because it's a very Catholic country. So you have the 2 venue situation. My venue doesn't have a kick out time. And my wedding planner was like, that's amazing. And so you could go to 4 a.m. without having to pay extra. And I'm like, sir.
I'm not doing that.
If I'm awake at 4 a.m., no, it will not be a pretty day. I do not need to be awake. No.
Horrible.
But yeah.
Okay, I feel like we could talk about the wedding stuff all day because I have still have a lot of questions about it.
Yeah.
But actually, no, I'm going to ask one more question. Okay, then cut me off.
Of course.
Which is, how do you already have 6 or 7 people within Portugal that are invited to your wedding? Are these new-ish friends you've made, or who are they? Who are these people?
The unapologetically child-free community.
Okay.
So y'all know this. Once you start making friends, with the trips and the people that you have met, and whether y'all have super connected or you see, because there's a bunch of dinky meetups that are happening separate from the trips, right? People meet on the trips and then they keep, and within the Patreon and all of that, right? People are just meeting up. So it's the same. It's just that I kind of found my people here. People that I feel I've known for 20 years, and I've known them for almost 3. So yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
I can't believe it's been that long. Oh my God. Almost 3. That's amazing. Okay. So in my head, you were like, you just moved here. You're a newbie. Who are these people? But wow, I'm so happy for you. It's so hard, as we all know, to find community, especially as older adults and child-free adults, no less. So I just think that's super encouraging. And I hope encouraging to other folks out there that you just got to put yourself out there. You might have your besties nearby. You just haven't met them yet.
I know. They're probably, already in your Patreon. So just join that and then you'll find your people.
Look at that, Maggie, plugging
Wow,
our Patreon. Thank you so
plug.
much.
I believe in this community so much that like it just takes a little bit of effort. Like I tell people that relationships aren't hard. They do require effort. And it's when, this is kind of what we were talking about today, right? Like being a part of a village, you've got to be a good villager. And to be a good villager, you just put in a little bit of effort. And then once you do that, it's a lot easier to be like, hey, we vibe. We, we connect in a way that really works. And then I don't feel the pressure to be like, hey, you over here, I don't vibe with you and it's nothing personal. And I don't feel the pressure to like keep that friendship, evolving. So,
yeah, totally.
Right.
I love that.
Oh, yeah. Navigating friendships and relationships is always a little stressful in the beginning when you're trying to figure out and suss out like how you feel about each other and whether you're compatible.
Yeah. Is it worth the effort? Is it worth the energy? And I think like a lot of people, I don't know about y'all, but especially being child-free adult, like sometimes there's almost this, you're the only other child-free person I know. We have to be friends. And then it's such a mismatch that then it's, for some people, some of the people that I work with and some of the people that are in my community, it's like they just give up. They found that child-free person and it was just a complete mismatch. Nothing personal on either side, but it just wasn't a good vibe. And they're like, I can't do this anymore. I'm done.
It's like dating, finding your person takes work.
Yeah. Sometimes, and even worse because like, especially if you're a heterosexual woman and you're dating, it's a lot easier to be like, bye, Felicia. Like, men are the worst.
That's true. Breaking up with people, like friends, is a taboo thing. I think we've talked about that in the past. Like, it's way harder to gracefully end a friendship than it is to just break up with a significant other. Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with that. All right. So transitioning a little bit, because you came on because you were going to talk to us about some ways to alleviate stress, especially because the holidays are coming up. You have some tips, especially having worked, as you're a licensed therapist with your community. You kind of deal with this day in and day out, especially now when the world is so heavy and so overwhelming. I'd love to hear kind of like, where you're at with that and tell us more about what you want to talk to us about today.
Can we just talk about the whole thing? Like, just cancel all your plans. Everybody just buckle in. Like, here we go. One of the things that's so... All right, I'm going to get on a soapbox and feel free to like rip me off the soapbox if you like fundamentally disagree. And then we'll talk about it. I have a pet peeve within the child-free community. Keep in mind, I've been building my child-free community since 2012. So like I've been in it for a minute. There is this mantra that I see so often in the comment section of any time I bring up a struggle that I may have or somebody else has, that I get flooded with comments of no kids equals no problems. What problems do I have booking my next international trip? My life is perfect. My life is grand. Something to that effect. I absolutely fundamentally get so irritated with this language. And here's why. It is not having kids makes life easier. It doesn't make life easy. I still live in a world where Donald Trump is the president of the United States and is influencing global politics. I'm still in a world that is based in misogyny and the patriarchal belief that women aren't full humans. Like, I'm still a recipient of that. We're in late stage capitalism. Like, I still have to deal with that. So there's this thing, especially when we go into the holidays, where if you have someone who puts out, they get vulnerable, they're in their friendship group or they're online and they say, I'm really worried about going home because, I have a parent who's an alcoholic, or because I have an estranged relationship with my sibling, or because the holidays were always just full of fights in my home, or every time I go home, I always get asked to do all the extra stuff because I'm the one who doesn't have kids. So I have the time, I have the energy, all that expectation. And then this woman, typically, who shares this gets shut down saying, you don't have space to have problems. You're not allowed to be a human. You just need to like show the world that, you know, everything is hunky-dory. And that just, it pisses me off. It just makes me mad because it plays into that pronatalist patriarchal belief that women aren't humans, and especially child-free women aren't allowed to be like a full person. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, it is too, like, you have fewer problems, so I have the authority now to put my problems on you, and you need to just deal with it, which is so psychotic.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, the must be, like, how can you be tired? You don't have kids. You don't know what tired is. Or, like, that just stuff makes me mad. And it comes from parents, but it also comes from within the child-free community itself. And I think there's a protection, right? Like, I know when I first started being more open about being child-free and having the pushback, I just wanted to be like, my life's, I'm not making a poor decision. And connecting the fact that, like, hey, I may be struggling financially or maybe struggling emotionally is not related to my choice to be child-free. It's just the fact that I exist in the world. Does that make sense? Like, so that's something I work with my clients on a lot. Is the bulk of my clients are people who don't have kids, and it's not why they're in therapy. They're in therapy for a variety of other reasons, and typically it's that they carry the world on their shoulders, and no one seems to notice or expects them to carry the world on their shoulders, because what else are they going to do? I'm
curious, as a therapist, someone who works with child-free people and non-child-free people, do you find that child-free people are, I don't want to say more sensitive because that doesn't seem fair, but is there a difference in that regard from child-free people and non-child-free people? Because I do kind of get the sense that, like, child-free people are maybe, I'm so scared to say this, but like maybe more feeling.
Like, have big feels. Like, their feels are big.
Yeah.
That's language that we use in my work all the time, is like my big feelings. And do I have, you know, am I allowed to have, like, do I have permission to have big feelings? I don't know if it's a rule that there's a more, if child-free people are more highly sensitive people, that's a psychological term, HSPs, or if they just happen to be more empathetic or they feel their emotions more. My assumption, just from in the work that I do, is that child-free people have more space in their lives to focus on themselves. One of the benefits of being child-free is we don't have to spend 24/7 caring for another human. So I think on some level, it may be the ability to have more introspection, the ability to have more emotional connection, and that's without the pressure to necessarily push it down all the time. I do also find that we all end up in the child-free space in various reasons and for various reasons in various ways. There are a lot of people, I don't know what the percentage is, who, and this is the bulk of the people that I work with, they choose not to have kids because they weren't ever able to be a kid themselves. So they were early adults, you know, they were the adults in the room when they're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. And that makes you have to be very emotionally, like, you have your feelers out. You're almost like a bat. You're kind of blind to the rest of the world, and you can just feel it. You can feel the vibe in the room. And that's going to make you a lot more, quote unquote, sensitive, meaning you can pick up on things a lot more, whether with yourself or the room around you.
I have a train of thought that kind of might reel us back a little bit, and I'm kind of scared to say it out loud because I don't know if other people can relate to this. But when Erica's leaning in very close.
I'm very excited. Where is this going to go?
Should I put my therapist face on? I don't normally have a big mic in front of my face. Okay.
I don't think you've prepared for this kind of direction that I might take it. But going back to this idea that like it's perceived that child-free people have fewer problems and therefore our problems are not as significant or don't matter as much. Because I agree that that definitely happens 100%. I see it all the time. Luckily, I feel like I surround myself with people who don't make me feel that way. But I do think it is human nature to, right, compare yourself to another person. And you know, child-free or not, like, I do, you know, people do that all the time, right? Like, you have nothing to complain about when, you know, if somebody's dating and somebody has a husband, it's like, you're married, you don't understand. Like, you know, and so I don't know, beyond like pausing and trying to be more empathetic towards another person who might have different problems than you that are maybe in your mind not as significant because you're not the one dealing with them. Like, I guess I'm trying to understand, like, what do you think as a therapist would be your response to somebody who feels like resentful or bitter about like a friend who has different problems that they complain about when you feel like your problems are worse?
Mm-hmm. Remember, I told you to buckle in. We're going to be here a while. Let me make sure that I understand. So the question is, if someone is the recipient of resentment, they are the ones feeling the resentment that says, I think my stuff is more important than this person who's taking up all this space complaining about their stuff.
Yes, exactly.
To me, what that says from a therapeutic point of view is that that person doesn't feel as if they have the space or the safety in the relationship to share their stuff. And that may or may not be true. And if it is true, if that person really is just an emotional vampire and is just wanting to monopolize all interactions and attempt to get all of that person's energy, help me, fix me, support me, then that's a relationship that needs some type of, you got to look at it. Is that really the type of relationship that you want to be in? Kind of like what you were saying, Kristen, like you have worked to surround yourself with people who aren't going to make you feel bad about the stuff that's going on in your life. Now, if that person is feeling resentful, but they never share, they never open up because they're always fearful, then I would be spending some time on talk to me about what's the fear in sharing? Like in therapy, I would literally say, like, what's the story that you make up in your head that will happen if you say, hey, I'm tired too, or I'm really scared too, or I haven't done this, or I'm feeling so behind in my arbitrary timeline. What does your brain say is going to happen? And a lot of times people are like, they're going to stop being my friend. They're going to get mad at me. That has nothing to do with the other person. That is much more of a personal thing of like, oh, I'm bringing my own stuff in and I'm assuming if that person's never shown me that they're going to shut me down and I'm in assumption land, like we've got to work on that assumption land. And that's going to come from like, I'm such a therapist. Like it's childhood stuff, man. Like that's early learned behavior. I hate to break it, like, but I will say this also as a caveat. Sometimes this like us versus them, whoever us is and whoever them is completely learned behavior, not necessarily from like parent to child or something like that, but society to person. And so if you happen to have any therapists in your audience, which I'm sure you do, they're going to understand this jargon. I'm a postmodern therapist, so humanistic feminist, which basically means I see the lens of people through the society in which they are in, not just the brain and just the like, this is the quote unquote normal brain, because that was normed on affluent white men in the, about 100 years ago. So we're all abnormal if we go to that, that baseline. So a lot of times, and I was talking about this with somebody else recently, is this us versus them is really a play and a ploy that the powerful, I call them the Illuminati, that the Illuminati get to keep us distracted from what they're doing. So if the 99% are infighting with each other, the 1% of the world gets to run amok and nobody keeps them in check. So if it's, yeah, we do a lot of work on that too.
First of all, that was such a better response than I could have predicted. Like, I think that was so insightful. So thank you.
Welcome.
I'm sure there are things we could talk about with this Illuminati, but I'm thinking.
I
about
literally
one
have
thing
no idea where I came up with that. I'm sure it was a movie or like a book I read or whatever, but that's how I imagine how the world runs.
But not the actual Illuminati.
I don't know what the Illuminati is.
Oh, the Illuminati is like
it's a thing.
Allegedly,
yeah,
it's a real thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should stop using the term. Should I not use this?
Probably.
Oh no.
It's basically like, I think what you're trying to use it as is like, there is like a cult-like mysterious group. Is that kind of what you're trying to frame it up as? Which is true.
That's what the Illuminati
are. Yeah. It's just, but
the evil players in the background, like being marionettes to the world. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And I think that is a very good analogy for that. But you just might want to like put a little more caveats when you're talking about the Illuminati.
Like 3 more
maybe
asterisks.
I should Google words before I like start making them like branded or whatever.
No, I love that.
I mean, but people do, just to make you feel better for a second, people do say that about like Beyonce. Like they say like Beyonce is part of the Illuminati, who's like this wealthy person who is like, I mean, she has denied it a million times. So just don't come after me, Beyonce. I love you.
The TikTok trend of like everybody showing all of the celebrities like thanking Beyonce in all of their.
Oh,
is this
I don't know
part
if it's
of that?
100% connected, but to an extent, it's like kind of the same idea that she's part of like a secret elite club. It's not the same thread, but it's a similar thread.
Yeah. And it's like bad things are going to happen to you unless you follow this like hierarchy of like social rules within that sphere.
I do just need to say ultimately
tonight this is happening.
With Beyonce, it is just racism at the end of the day, but yes.
Yes.
Because if they're talking about it with her and not like the ultra
Taylor Swift, Elon Musk, like any other billionaires that are like rich and powerful.
Have y'all done an episode on Taylor Swift lately?
No.
Wait, what?
No.
Have we done an episode on Taylor Swift lately?
Because I got super disappointed in her. Like,
girl. I don't know if you want to go down this rabbit hole with us.
Yeah, that is. I mean,
that's what I was asking. Like, is there like a plug we could put
understatement?
For like
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't listen to her new album. Everything that comes out about her, I'm like more and more annoyed. I haven't listened to any of her music at all, which is like shocking for me.
Yeah. I have not even listened to the new album at all. All I've heard is like the snippets on like TikTok's reels and stuff. Like that's the extent of the music I've heard of hers. Because I'm like, I can't, man. Okay. All right.
Yep. Same page. Sorry, everyone. I know there's a lot of Swifties and we are historically Swifties, so it's hard.
Yeah.
We're processing how to navigate this new chapter of our relationship with Taylor Swift. Right now it's not good.
To be the therapist in the room who's really good at like coming back to what we were talking about when digressions happen, I will use this as a great segue because I think this difficulty that we're all talking about, like it's a grieving time, it's a difficult time. This happens a lot in the child-free community when we start to realize that relationships or even people in our lives or ways that we were living our lives doesn't work anymore. It's so hard to let go of that, right? Like it's so hard to say like, oh, I thought my life was going to look like X, Y, and Z by the time I was 25 or 30. Or, oh, I thought I was going to have this type of relationship with my sibling or my parent or my community or my best friend from when I was 5. And we grow up, I'm 39. And like, you asked 20-year-old me if this is my life at 39? No. Could not have even made it up if I tried. And so that took a lot of grieving moments. It took a lot of moments of being like, oh, I have to grieve something I thought that I would have and I never did, or grieving relationships, like friendships. I've had several relationships just implode, like friendships implode from unhealthy behaviors on my part or their part. And so sometimes we just have to sit with it and like be like, yeah, this sucks. This is hard. but we also need to have people in our lives who will receive it. And that kind of brings back to like, we are humans. We get to have these things. And it's just because I don't have, like, after this, I'm not going to log off and like have to go pick up a kid from school. I'm going to go make dog food and listen to my book on tape, my audiobook. You know, like,
how's your cassette player holding up these days?
If I didn't already say my age, I definitely like dated myself with that one, right? So, yeah, life is different, but it doesn't make it perfect.
And so going down a similar train of thought there. So coming closer to the holidays, you are confronted with these people often that have known you your whole life. And you mentioned this a little bit earlier that like sometimes we are reacting to people and situations in ways that we did as young children often to like, those were our coping mechanisms, like how we behaved to navigate like childhood or unhealthy behaviors and unhealthy people. So when we're like forced back into these scenarios again with these people, I think for me, just speaking for myself, and I wonder if there's other people who can relate, I tend to revert back to those behaviors. Like they trigger me in ways that my 10-year-old self wants to scream and like kick and be, you know, a crazy person that if you put me in any other scenario with new people, I would never, ever in my life revert to that kind of like behavior that that triggers me with my family or, you know, people who I might have known for a long time. So I'm just kind of like curious, like if you have any, response or feedback to how to guide somebody who feels like it's easy for them to revert back to behaviors that they feel are unhealthy.
Mm-hmm. So for one, I wish that this was live in front of like other people so that you could see all the head nods, because this is very common. So one of the thing that I would tell people is in preparation, and now it is November, like get prepped. We were all talking earlier about getting prepped for winter, taking your supplements, you know, your vitamin D. Get prepped to see these people last month. Like we're a little bit behind the ball here on that, just because doing two things. From a therapeutic point of view, it's spend as much time right now before you go and see those triggering people, those activating people. Spend as much time with the people who ground you, who help you feel your most calm and confident and truest version of yourself. If those are humans, if those are pets, if those are books, if those are plants, if those are just you in your, you know, bathtub, whatever that is, do as much of that as possible. And just tell yourself and remind yourself, this is who I am. This is the life that I love. I've built this life. This is who Maggie is. This is who Kristen is. This is who Erica is, right? And at the same time, it's also doing a little bit of reparenting. In therapy, we do a lot of reparenting your younger parts of self. I come from an ego state point of view, so we have these different versions of ourselves. And your 10-year-old self that you're talking about, Kristen, like she needs pep talk. She needs a preparation conversation that's like, hey, little K, or whatever you were called when you were little or whatever you want to call her, and say, tell me how you're feeling. Tell me how you're feeling about hanging out with Uncle James or mom or dad or, you know, cousin Sue or whoever. And you just kind of sit with that. This is meditation, hypnosis-esque. There's work you could do with your therapist if they come from this point of view, where you're just listening to her. You're listening to her go, I'm scared. I feel out of control. I don't know what to do. And then it's saying, okay, I, as my 30-something-year-old self, when I'm feeling scared, this is what I do. So I'm going to do that with you. And it's very much, I know it sounds kind of woo for some people, but it's very much being able to say, I am no longer going to let someone else be in control of how I am feeling in my body. And so in order to do that, we have to first know what that person does. What is it that they do? What is it that they say? So real life example, I've had to, in family situations, literally say, I'm going to go on a walk. Nobody else is coming with me. Nobody else wanted to go on a walk. If somebody had asked to go with me, I'd be like, no, I need to go on my own. I have literally gone to my car and sat in the driveway and called a friend or played some music or just sat there and screamed and cried. The thing that my little girl self never got to do. She had to sit there and smile. She had to sit there and endure it. She had to sit there and pretend that that the behavior was okay and that she wasn't having big feelings, that she wasn't too sensitive. That's something that a lot of us get called, and going to what you were talking about, Erica, like, no, I'm a human and you're making me feel bad. So I'm going to go take care of that feeling. And so it's the prep work letting you know who you are, telling your younger girl self that you've got her and she doesn't have to look to these other adults to be her guide. You are her guide. And then you show up for her in real life in those moments and you do the thing that's uncomfortable, which is sometimes removing yourself from the situation, sometimes standing up and saying, that's inappropriate to say. Sometimes it's saying, I don't feel comfortable answering that question. Or even, I tell my clients, get sassy with it and being like, are you really asking me that? Like whatever you need to say to honor the person that you are and that little girl who didn't get to say those things, who didn't feel safe to say those things.
Yeah, that's great. And I think that the two things you've talked about are so interrelated too. It's like, what are you afraid that they're going to say? Like, what are you afraid they're going to do? Like, what is the assumption there? Yeah, I think that's super valuable.
What advice do you give to people like who are trying to determine, because I'll say just for myself, like post-COVID, especially after moving to Portland and realizing how much I love being here during the holidays, and also just being alone during the holidays. My husband and I have really made an effort to like not see family as much as possible during the holidays. And that's just been like a personal choice for us. But like for people who are listening, like who do kind of have those relationships with family, like, can you help them suss out like where's the line for like when you make the choice to not see family for holiday versus bearing the people that drive you crazy?
This is like a full-on cost-benefit analysis. Like, this is one of those things where, first, what do you want to get out of this time, these winter holidays? Okay. Some people, they have a very clear idea of what November looks like for them, what December looks like for them, whatever that holiday is that is typically the go home to family. They have an idea. This is the picture in their head. So first, picture that ideal. What do you want in November? What do you want November to look like? What do you want December to look like? Then the follow-up is that realistic with the people that are involved in your life? So if someone's like, I want a Charles Dickens, like, come together, we're all, eating and Merryland and blah, 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 and it's snowing outside. If that's your vision, and that's literally never happened in your family, you've never made it to dinner without somebody fighting, then it's going, okay. So no matter what I do, no matter what boundaries I set, no matter how much meditation I do, I can't control the fact that like my mom and my brother always get into it as soon as he walks in the door, like whatever the circumstance is. So then it's saying, what is this ideal thing that you want? This picture, this Charles Dickens life? What's the feel? What is it that you really want? You want safety. You want to feel accepted. You want to feel calm and less pressure and no responsibilities. You want to feel loved. Okay, how do you do that if it doesn't include mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, grandparents, whoever? Some people say, oh, can I really just stay home with my dog and read my book, or stay home with my husband, or can we go on a vacation? Like, I want to be around snow. I don't. But some people may want to be around snow. So it's like, maybe we go to wherever, right? And so it's much less about how do I make it, like, how do I make this happen? Because you can't control other people's behavior. So it's the cost-benefit analysis of the effort that it would take to get the feeling that I want in situation A versus situation B.
And I feel like the framing here that's interesting with what Maggie's saying is like she's referring to like what you, Erica, wants for your holiday, and less about you being able to control their reactions to you not attending, right? If you say like, you know what, I want to spend Christmas with my husband because it actually makes me happy and I don't want to travel 3 hours each way to just have annoying family members make me regret it. Like, it's the fear that those people are going, at least in my brain, the fear that those people are going to, you know, make you feel guilty, or God forbid something happens to their health and this was their last Christmas that you could have gone and you were like all these like scenarios like play out about the other people versus like what actually makes you happy.
So then, Kristen, so the follow-up to that would be, okay, so we're just in therapy together. Therapy light, not technically therapy. Legal disclaimer. So if that's the conversation, and it wouldn't be this abrupt in therapy, like this would be a journey that we would be taking, but eventually we'd get to the point where the question would be, okay, so if you express to someone who you love and that you want to have a relationship with you, and they say they want to have a relationship with you back, you tell them that it is a lot more stressful and strain on you to do this journey, to make this happen, and you need to prioritize yourself right now. And their feedback is, but what about me? I want you to sit with that. Sit with that and listen to what just happened. I'm sharing that this is what I need. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm not asking anything of you. I'm not asking you to change. I'm simply saying, have an amazing time the way that you normally do. And I'm going to do me over here. And hey, maybe I'll come in January when there's less stress, there's less whatever. And if they come back with, I don't like that because I have this other plan for you. No. Then we're working on recognizing that someone is not listening to you. Kind of going back to what I was saying, like, we're not allowed to have feelings. We're not allowed to be this full human. Instead, it's this like, we're so expected to just do what other people want from us. And this is much more about like saying, I'm not anti-family. Maybe. These are all generalizations, right? Like, I'm not anti-family, but maybe December is a really crappy time to go see family. Maybe I'd much rather go in December or February or whatever. And that could be for a variety of reasons. I will also tell people, you don't owe anyone an explanation. No is a full sentence. And if somebody isn't able to take that, that's also a recognition of there is a fracture within the relationship.
It's such a beef for me because I just feel like boomers specifically, I have no problem putting boomers on blast.
I don't either.
Boomers specifically, I feel like when this is indicative of a bigger problem, but I'm using the holidays as a key example. Like, if you were to ask them, like my parents or my in-laws or whatever, like, what's your ideal Christmas? Like, it's not just about what they want. Their picture involves other people, and they can't separate that from their own happiness. So like if for my dad, for instance, which I just have accepted, like, sorry, it's not that I'm ruining your holiday, but like, I can't give you what you need. You need to find joy in your own holiday that's apart from me. And I think that's a thought process that is hard for their generation to conceptualize, and you just kind of have to be okay with it,
Absolutely. We can't do other people's mental labor. They want us to, right? Like, that's kind of the point. Like, we're asked to hold on to so much, especially kids who were given the emotional labor of their parents really early on. It's really hard to walk away and say, like, not walk away from the relationship, but walk away from holding that emotional labor and saying, I can't hold this for you anymore. It's going to feel icky at first. The thing that I tell people about, like, when you first start setting these rules and boundaries, two different things. When you start setting rules and boundaries in your life, it doesn't automatically go, oh, man, life is so great. It's still going to feel icky. It's more about, is this icky one? Is it less than the other? And is it more manageable than the other? So, I feel guilty. I feel sad. Okay. By saying no or by staying home. And if I go, then I feel resentful, angry, drained, and all of these other things. And it's like, whoa, okay. This is that cost-benefit analysis. It's the like, it's going to feel uncomfortable in the beginning when you start making changes. Is this discomfort better, for lack of a better term, than the other discomfort? And one is typically for somebody else versus for us.
Yeah. And again, going back to the women thing, right? Like, we put, I think, a lot of pressure on ourselves as women to make others happy and take on other people's expectations, even at the detriment of ourselves. Like, I would love to hear from men on this topic, but I would imagine it's a lot less of the, I feel guilty if I don't show up for my family, Like, I think women take that on more.
For sure. I'm also trying to think about, like, the difference in what is put on a woman in these environments, the holidays in particular, versus a man. Like, I don't want to upset my mom. Okay. So it's easy for you to just like get in the car and drive, and I'm going to be very general here, but this is what statistics show, is that often he just got to show up, right? Like, wife planned when we're leaving, heterosexual, more normal, more traditional relationships, right? What everybody wants to say is the norm, which it isn't, but whatever. She planned, she packed, she cooked to bring stuff. He shows up, sits on the couch, and mom brings him food and, rubs his belly. And it's like, okay, that was hard for you, buddy. Like, I don't know if I can handle a man having that conversation, because I just think it's different expectations generally.
Yeah, different like literal labor expectations too. Yeah. Okay, I wanted to try to keep us on track. I know we're already like over technically because we love to yap before we push record. But I wanted to see if we had time to do some hypnosis. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, I don't think it has that many syllables, but yes. Yeah. So one of the things that for those that aren't in my brain or in the brain of Erica and Kristen, we've talked about me coming in as I'm a licensed therapist by trade, and I'm certified in clinical hypnosis. It is one of my favorite therapeutic tools. And the reason that I really like it is most women or most people, but I work mainly with women, they get stuck in their head. It's very cognitive. It's very much like, how do I think my way through something? And sometimes in therapy, high-achieving women who are very emotionally aware spend a lot of time talking about things versus working through it, feeling it in its true sense. So hypnosis gets to break through some of that and get to a subconscious level. So it's my favorite thing. I love using hypnosis and teaching hypnosis to my clients. And I used to teach it internationally, like in person and online. And yeah, like teach doctors, nurses, psychiatrists, other therapists. Yeah.
Oh my God. So she's like a legit hypnotist here.
Yeah.
Erica,
you can hypnotize over the computer?
Yeah. Yeah. I do it every day.
This is amazing. Okay. Great.
Yeah. The caveat to that is, and I was telling Kristen earlier, is that so hypnosis is something that is all about being able to control in your own self. So I don't hypnotize anybody other than me. I facilitate an environment in which you can hypnotize yourself. You can go into trance on your own. If there's a part of your brain that's like, I don't know, Maggie, I don't trust Maggie, I don't like hypnosis, this feels weird, you're going to hear the words that come out of my mouth and nothing's going to happen. And that's cool because that is you already knowing what you want and doing what you want without this, like, I need to be the good student and good performer. Like, yeah, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. So that's for anybody who's listening. Like, definitely just take this time to focus on your out breath. Just let yourself breathe and exhale. Just allow yourself to
And you can hypnotize
exhale.
yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Erica's
That's so confusing.
So to not like take up too much time, there's a very famous saying from one of the modern hypnosis gurus named Milton Erickson, who said all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And it's the idea that, like, I can't do anything to you. I can't make you do anything. Goes to what we were talking about earlier. Like, I can't make you do anything. I can facilitate an environment and use language to help you make that decision on a subconscious level to go, oh yeah, I like this. This feels cool. Let's do this. And then the subconscious will kind of be a part of that situation. Today, we're going to be doing something that my clients call ooey gooey hypnosis. And it's the feel good. It's the like relaxation. And it's really meant to be an in the moment support. It is not your deep therapy. So if someone were to work with me individually, you'd get this kind of hypnosis, but we'd also go in and reparent your little girl parts and your protector parts and your numb parts and all of these more deep therapeutic things. But we're not doing that today. Because I'm your friend, I'm not your therapist.
This is a sneak preview of what you get when you work with Maggie. So follow her on Instagram. Maggie Gets Real. Okay, Maggie, take it away.
Okay. Erica, do you have any questions before we get started? Okay.
No. Do I need to sign a waiver?
You had a just air sign it. Just use your finger. Perfect. Love it. Okay. Okay. So the main thing is that for anybody who's listening, again, this is something that you're able to opt into or not. I do recommend taking a moment and simply listening. And if you decide that this is not your jam, that's totally okay. Please honor what works for you. And maybe take this moment to simply just breathe. And I always tell people the most important part about your breath is your out breath. So just notice and let your out breath be just slightly longer than your inhale. Just exhale slightly longer. And then perhaps even noticing that silence between the inhale and the exhale. If you can just take your time to do that, you're going to do worlds of difference for just your central nervous system, your nervous system regulation. Okay. For everybody else, just take a moment wherever you are right now. Just take note if this is a safe place for you to close your eyes and kind of check out of the world for a little bit. Okay. If it is not a safe place for you to do that, if you're driving or you're cooking or something like that, again, just focus on your breath and you're able to hear the words that come out of my mouth, but you're going to be completely focused and safe in the environment that you're in. Take a moment and simply pause. And you can have your eyes open or closed, whatever feels most comfortable for you right now. And you're going to hear the tone of my voice change just a little bit. And that's just to give a little bit of a signal to your breath to slow down. But there's no way in particular that you need to be breathing. Just breathe, however feels comfortable for you. Let that breath be yours. Take a moment and with every out breath, just begin to imagine that in front of you, wherever you are, you're feeling just a little more calm. You're slowing down, kind of finding easefulness, whatever that means for you. And if your eyes aren't closed yet, just allow them to soften, whether they stay open or closed. Now begin to notice the air on your skin, the weight of your body in the chair or the couch. Noticing the pull of gravity just settling you in, sinking you down, comfortable. You may even feel as if you're starting to fall asleep, or you may want to. I've got that voice, talking slow. That's totally okay. Most people feel as if they fall asleep during hypnosis, and they don't. But it just feels very calm and very comfortable. And over the next few moments, I'm not going to say a lot of words because your brain already knows how to shift into a state of calm. And so allow your body to do that for you right now. Isn't it wonderful to know that your body can take care of you without you having to do much? You're always holding so much. You're doing so much. And right now, all you have to do is listen. All you have to do is allow yourself to feel the warmth of your exhale. Now, notice gently, right now. Imagine right in front of you is a simple basket. Just a small basket. It can be woven, it can be brown, it can be a plastic laundry basket. It can be big, it can be small. But it's sturdy, it's familiar, it's safe. And now is your moment where you get to start putting things inside this basket. With every single exhale, allow yourself to drop in your worries, the mental checklists, the invisible responsibilities, the guilt, the fear, the pressures, that to-do list. Every single I'll take care of it and sure I can help. All of those moments, just drop them in to the basket. Every moment that you've had to be the strong, responsible one. Just one by one, set them down into the basket with care, because you've carried them a really long time. And now you get to rest. Take a moment and notice how full the basket is now. It's heavy, but it's no longer yours. And now imagine that just suddenly in your hand, you have a balloon and a string, and you're able to tie this string to the basket. Notice the color of the balloon, the size, the shape. Whatever color feels good, feels like release for you. Gold, blue, your favorite color. Maybe it's multicolored, like a big hot air balloon. I don't know. There's no specific way. And now with every exhale, the balloon lifts higher and higher and higher. The basket slowly just gets a little further off the ground, inch by inch by inch. Notice what that's like. Notice if you're wanting to come in and help the basket along, or if you're just able to let it do its thing. Every exhale, the basket gets higher and higher and higher. You don't have to do anything right now. The air will carry it for you. And notice as that basket and that balloon gets so much smaller in your vision into the horizon. Just notice what's left inside of you, where that space of all that heaviness was. Perhaps you feel your chest opening a little bit, your body remembering what it's like to breathe so much easier. Take a moment and tell yourself in your own mind, I'm allowed to rest. I'm allowed to be supported. And I don't have to hold it all. And let these words just gently be in your own mind, in your own body. And in a moment, but not just yet, you're going to return back to your usual level of alertness and awareness and back to your day. And then before that, take a moment of gratitude. Letting yourself know that you have done enough. You are enough. You've done a wonderful job right now. You've taken care of yourself in so many ways. And this feeling is only going to continue to grow with every exhale in and out of this experience. And so take a few more moments. With every exhale, just letting go of all of the things that are just not yours to hold on to. And slowly begin to shift your attention now to the world around you, feeling that chair, that couch, that seat, the floor, wherever you are, feeling the air on your skin. You're going to notice your inhale a little bit more, letting that inhale guide you back to a usual level of alertness and awareness. You're feeling your feet, you're feeling your breath. You may even want to move your body, stretch it out a little bit. That's right. Just take your time. You're still here, and you're lighter, steadier, and a little bit more yourself. And so just take a moment, one final big breath, however you want to make it. And then on your exhale, you'll be able to open your eyes feeling refreshed, re-energized, calm, confident, and comfortable, ready to return to your day.
That was really nice.
What'd you notice?
Erica, it was so weird because like you gave me like the middle finger like 20 times during that, when you were under hypnosis. You were just like, it was all, the basket was just me, huh?
That was
it was
subconscious, just telling you off.
I was imagining putting Kristen in the basket and just floating her in a river like Moses.
Wow. I'm so honored.
So loving in this group. It's great.
I mean, as someone who was not really trying to participate on purpose, I really enjoyed Maggie. Your voice is like perfect for this kind of thing.
Very calming.
I like almost fell asleep with my eyes open. That was really nice.
Yeah. Hence the little bit at the beginning of like, if you're, if you're not in a safe place to do this, just listen, just kind of like, let this be something that you come back to. Download this, save this, mark this. Favorite it, all of those things so that you can come back to it.
I love that.
What is the difference between hypnosis and meditation? Is there a difference?
Yes, and it's very neuropsyche nerdy. It's how it affects the brainwaves. So when you're in trance, you're at a theta brainwave, and it's different than meditation. But it feels very similar. Often meditation has a different purpose than hypnosis. Similar but different. So meditation often it's a form of mindfulness, which is being present-minded without judgment and without attachment. And hypnosis is a way to go into an altered state of consciousness like meditation and then do something therapeutic in that way. That's a really generalized, boiled down, we're at the end of the show kind of answer. But it really does have to do with like how the brain waves are and what that does in terms of rewiring your brain. And like what you're using it for. There is mindful hypnosis. And I do some of that. I'm trained from a colleague and a friend, Dr. Liz, and she does mindful hypnosis. And so you can do both.
Interesting. Okay.
That's great. What a great practice and like tool, because I feel like, you hear often about therapy, but I feel like there's something so much more to what you just did that I think is underrepresented and under talked about. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah. And I would say for anybody who's like listening and they're like really wanting, okay, I've got a dysfunctional family or I've got a really toxic work environment or something. Hypnosis is a great skill because I don't know how many minutes that was, but something I teach my clients is like, you don't need an hour-long meditation practice. You don't need an hour-long therapy session sometimes. Sometimes it really is like I teach 60 seconds. Even more of an awareness-based hypnosis where like I had a client who toxic work environment, and basically when she would get the call of like, hey, we're having an impromptu meeting, anxiety would spike. And she would have about 60 to 90 seconds to go from her cube to the conference room. And so we had 60 to 90 seconds while she was walking from her cube to the conference room to get her from that panicked state of what the heck is going to happen in this meeting to, okay, I feel less of that. So it's deep work, and then it's also in the moment stuff, especially when we think about families and, hey, I got to go scream in my car. Sometimes this kind of stuff can help too.
Right. That's really amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Maggie. This is so helpful. I mean, I really hope, people, please bookmark this, save it, replay it, save it for next year.
Yeah, for real.
What a great experience. So thank you.
Yeah. And, I don't know how like ratings on podcasts work or whatever, but if you can tell all of the people in the ratings that, hey, they need to listen to this so that it gets pushed out and everybody can hear it and everybody can, tune into Dinky, because I think it was a good episode for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mags.
You're welcome.
All right.
Everybody's like we're a little zenny right now.
We're all so chill.
Just take a moment, Erica, just for my own sake, like just take a moment and kind of like cross your elbows in front of your face, like cross the meridians. Yeah, just like that. Yep. That's going to be helpful.
What does that mean?
You're just activating both sides of your brain, which is going to help you become more cognizant and like more conscious level. So
it does feel good.
Yeah. So everybody who's listening, if you still feel a little bit kind of zen-y and you don't want to and you need to be a little bit more alert, just kind of cross your elbows in front of your face, get both of those sides of the brain activated. It'll be helpful.
I love that.
Hi, my name is Maggie. I'm a licensed therapist and host of Unapologetically Childfree. I run groups for child-free women who are tired of trying to be the whole village for everybody. And if you want to be in on that, you can find me. And in the show notes, there's going to be a link. Use code DINKY. You'll get $100 off. We start in January. And if you want to know what happens after you work on yourself in this way, you will be able to dink yourself like I did. I dinked myself recently by flying all the way to Milan, Italy, and trying on very expensive wedding dresses with my girlfriends, all of my child-free girlfriends. Woo! So you can too.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the Dink Squad. Dinky is a podcast on the Spreaker Prime Network. Many thanks to Maggie for joining us today, and many thanks to Chloe Steinhoff-Smith for our podcast art. Many muchas gracias to Leah Herder for creating our show's theme and interview transition music. And merci beaucoup to Vince Shortino for audio mixing and editing. Danke to the listeners.
I was waiting for me to say, Dankeschön.
Shukran. 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 This is such a multilingual show.
I literally can't think of another language, so we covered them all.
I can't either. There are none. Want to connect with us on social media? You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Substack. Kristen, how do you say thank you in Japanese?
Arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimasu.
Oh, okay.
Right? Is that what it is? Babe, is arigato?
I don't fucking know.
It is. Okay. I'm right.
Oh. So when they said arigato, Mr. Roboto, they were saying thank you, Mr. Roboto?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, arigato
You learn something
gozaimasu
new
is
every
like
day.
the more, I think it's more like thank you very much. And arigato is just like
Wow.
thanks, I think.
Love that.
I don't know,
Love
Vince is in Japan. He can tell us.
Yeah.
I know you can't tell us.
Vince Shortino, email him to find out how to say thank you in Japan.
Don't Google it. Find Vince first.
Find Vince, track him down. He would love to tell you how to speak simple Japanese languages.
You know what I think of sometimes and I get embarrassed about is the time where I went into the Discord and I screenshotted something about Vince or from Vince or like an email or something. And I covered up his last name because I didn't want to like give private information. Yeah. And everyone in the Discord was like, bitch, you literally say his last name every single episode.
Every day.
I was like, oh yeah, you already know. Anyway.
That's really funny. If you have a question or a comment, email us at dinky@dinkypod.com. If you're a fan of the show,
wait,
remember to subscribe.
How do I like look at the fucking reviews here, bro? I'm trying to look for these reviews.
Mel Semigran said, got bullied into re-downloading Apple Podcasts. A proud Spotify listener here and giving a review. Was that what you were going to say?
Yeah. So I just wanted to say thank you, Mel Semigran and Erica for having my text messages pulled up so she could find this. And
always at the ready.
She's a Patreon supporter and proud Dink. And we're so glad that the bullying worked. And for everyone else, get your fucking ass together.
Get your fucking ass onto Apple Podcasts. Do you not love us?
What are you doing? Be like Mel.
Oh my God. Be like Mel. Mel is... She is, or they are, I don't know what pronouns they use, but they are a consummate citizen. They have not only subscribed, they have not only left a review, they have joined the Patreon. And we all know that joining the Patreon says a lot about a person. It says they have a juicy ass. It says they have washboard abs. They look great everywhere they go, and people, they are radiant. They are beautiful. And if you want to be all these things, you too can join the Patreon and become a Patreon subscriber today.
Yeah. I totally agree. They have 20/20 vision. They have great organ health, really good cholesterol levels. All of these things could be yours if you were just a Patreon member.
This is by no means legally bound, but yes.
Thank you, lawyer. And I just want to emphasize that Mel re-downloaded Apple Podcasts to leave a review. Do you know how much fucking commitment that is? Who wants to download any app nowadays?
Anything. I don't even want to download, period, let alone re-download.
So the fact that they had a re-download, it's like Mel went above and beyond. Why can't you? Why can't you? What's holding you back?
Are you not ashamed?
This message is for you, and I hope you feel fucking shame.
Wow. Well, if you are still here, yeah, there's a good chance that I know what you want, and what you want is dinky merch. Get yourself a hoodie, get yourself a sweatshirt, get yourself a sticker, get yourself a sticker to put on your laptop. Then when you're at Le Café, people can see it and be like, ooh la la, what's that sticker with that very cute cat? Tell me more. You guys could strike up a conversation. They could find out you're child free. You guys could become besties, maybe lovers.
Friends become lovers.
Yeah, so visit the show notes to get that link to join the Patreon, to donate to the show, to shop merch, anything you want. Maybe secrets. Maybe the Epstein files are there. Only time will tell. If you want to take a trip with us, go ahead. We're waiting. We're waiting to take your call. Our next trip is to Vietnam, and I would love to see you in Vietnam. It is going to be an artsy person's fucking dream. If you're an artsy person, sign up now. We're going to be doing a silk workshop. We're going to be doing some lacquer painting. We're going to be eating banh mi on banh mi. On banh mi.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to? That trip is with Erica. You can find more at dinkypod.com. And
Kristen is always so worried that people are going to show up to the trip and be like, where's Kristen?
Well, I do feel
Where
like it's,
is
I don't want
she?
people, I don't want to mislead people into thinking that like I'm going to be there making silk with them, because
I don't think anyone's in this lead. They're going to sign up. They're going to see it's just my fucking face. And you know what? I don't have anything to say. I was hoping something was going to come out and nothing did. So
nothing did.
That's how life goes sometimes.
Yeah. And I do want to say, yes, I remember now. I do want to say, Erica does take one-on-one calls. If you're interested in the trip, you want to learn more, she'll go on a one-on-one call with you, help answer some questions. Yeah. And same for the Small Child-Free Business Corner. If you think your business would be a good fit for the Smile-Free, we smile. Sorry, I don't mean to say smile-free. With Smiles Child-Free
Smiles
Business
abound.
Corner, then we also do one-on-ones with you to point you in the right direction. We give you some fucking discounted, some sweet discounts. Okay?
Oh,
you like discounts?
So sweet.
You'll like us.
What's a discount number that you see, Kristen? Like, if you see like X% off, what's the percentage that makes your buns move? I'm not gonna lie, I'll see 20%. To me, I'm like 20%. Oh. What's even the point?
10 to 20% is negligible.
Yeah, I think I agree. Yeah, it's like cents.
Yeah. I will say 40%. 40% is like, whoa. I think 40%. And a lot of these, for the record, are up to 75% what we're trying to get on big brands to pay our fucking asses. So, I mean, it's practically free.
Practically.
Have you seen Practical Magic?
Yes, I have. I love that movie.
Oh, you do? You put the lime in the coconut, you drink a bowl up. You know that song?
Yeah, I love that song.
It's a good song.
What else you got for me?
That's it, literally.
Well, Kristen,
Yeah.
it has been the passage of time being here with you.
Yeah, it has been a passage of time.
I can't wait till your internet is set up so I can see your fucking face and not just a pixelated screen of garbage. Yeah, just like that.
Here we
Love
are in
you.
2025. Still can't get the internet. Love
Nope.
you.
No internet in Ireland. Don't get pregnant.
Don't get pregnant.
Just all the sign-offs.
Dink life.